Get ready for a very unexpected, shocking, surprising full moon. This video is going to give you the general overview of everything to expect for the full moon and what that looks like. And then I'm going to get into the sign by sign so that you can just see where in your life this energy could show up. But to see what the energy is all about, check out this general overview. We have a full moon in Taurus at 24 degrees. This full moon is almost exactly conjunct a retrograde Uranus. What I see happening is that we are going to experience shakeups that tear away and strip away anything that isn't truly secure. So if we are seeking security outside of ourselves, or if we are seeking pleasure in our environment and outside of what we can find within ourselves, we are going to be shown where we can break free from some of those actually less dependable feelings of security and joy and pleasure. When it comes to relationships, this has a big impact on where we are going in the future. Venus is squaring the nodes, and that means this isn't just about today. This is about breaking free of relationship expectations that we had in the past, or the way that we have been operating in relationships and ways that we experience pleasure in the past, to break into something brand new that is going to sustain us for much longer and ultimately create more pleasure, more security, happier relationships. But the process can be uncomfortable when Uranus is involved. We are also just separating from an opposition of Mars and Pluto in the sky. This Mars and Pluto opposition is happening on the axis of Capricorn and Cancer. And on that axis, Pluto is finishing its last degree in Capricorn. Mars in Cancer, I think, is a lot about looking at how we nurture challenging feelings inside of us and how we nurture conflict, maybe where we didn't get nurturing in our upbringing, and how we can apply new methods and purge some of the old ones when it comes to how we manage emotion. Cancer is all about emotion and nurturing and family. So it was breaking some family patterns when it comes to the structure of psychology. And that's what Pluto is representing in Capricorn. It is that rigid structure that is embedded deeply into all of us, and Pluto is purging some of that. Now with Mars now in Leo, this is more an era of what we show the world, how we express our authentic selves and how we don't. So a Leo out of balance can be one of the signs that is most prone to putting on a front to cover up any insecurities. Leo is about our image. It's what we project to the world, but it is also our authentic, most creative selves. And Pluto, still in a position of much weaker, but still in a position of tension to Mars, is going to be showing us where the facades are. What is fake? What is not going to stand up? What is false security when it comes to creating a presentation for ourselves that really isn't authentic, that feels safe, but actually isn't that safe either? Because we can all feel it even when we don't necessarily know why, or we can't put the words to it, or we can't actually say what feels off. But there's something that always feels off when people are acting and not being genuine. And most of us do this. This isn't something this is probably more the norm than the exception. We all have been trained to act a certain way in society, and in most cases that works in our favor, and we actually need to for a bit of social protection. We're designed for that. But we're in a place now where we have evolved into more intelligence, and we know how to create a social environment that works for us, as well as bring more honesty and authenticity to the equation. Now on New Year's Eve, December 31st of this year, Pluto is going to come into another exact opposition with Mars. And now that opposition will be in Aquarius and Leo. That I think really speaks to authenticity, connection, what is best for the greater good. We'll touch on more of that later. Back to this full moon, another important configuration in the sky is that Mercury is in opposition with Jupiter. Now with this opposition, they are in what we call mutual reception. So they are both in each other's sign, creating this opposition. And that gives protection. That makes this opposition much more of a gentle experience as far as what's going on in the sky right now. When we have Jupiter in opposition to Mercury, this is about truth seeking. This is about finding the best ideas, especially in Sagittarius and Gemini. This is collaborating ideas from other people, staying open-minded, and taking the best of what you like from everybody's thoughts and concepts and putting them together into something that makes sense to you. These days, it is through this type of learning and gathering of ideas that we actually do create more safety for ourselves because we have access to so much knowledge right now. Back to part of the essence of this moon is seeing through what is false, seeing through what is underlying psychological damaged way of behaving and what is actually healed and authentic and genuinely helping other people. During this moon cycle, you can expect to have something abrupt grab your attention. That's Uranus retrograde. It is the security check that is asking, is that really secure? Is that actually going to make you feel secure, or is it something that you are depending on that could change in the outside world that is creating a false sense of security for you? If anybody's not being honest and authentic, we're going to be able to see more of that at this time. And our relationships crave a strong foundation. Venus in Capricorn is going to be wanting more traditional, classic approaches, but it also wants to be on solid ground and take very slow, small, calculated steps towards what it's working on because it knows that that is how you get there without having a huge crash landing because you made a false move. I would like to wrap up with a song that was in my mind as I was prepping for this video. The song is called Girl by SYML, and the lyrics go like this. Girl, you'll see the world, and you'll come to learn. Falling in love is a strange work of art. All of your battles will shape who you are, and know that your scars are my favorite part. I feel like this song really speaks to that balancing of the Scorpio Taurus axis, and also Mars's longer stay in Cancer, where our scars do need nurturing from ourselves, from other people, and we need to be able to give that and offer that to other people as well, as much as we can. Thank you so much for being here, watching, liking, subscribing. I'm really excited to almost have the 2025 business planners ready. These are designed with small businesses in mind, or anyone who wants to plan their life with the tools of astrology to help you see which opportune windows are there and where to focus your energy every month. I'm going to give more detail about what's in these planners when I actually launch them to become available. Stay tuned for that. Should be ready soon. And some of you know that I am currently in Australia. It is amazing. I am from Canada, and being here is just the best thing in the world. And I just have to say that one of the first things I did was went out and bought this toque. I packed a toque, and then I thought, Jen, you're going to Australia. You can live without a toque. Turns out I can't. And so for all of you who make comments about the toques and the headpieces, it's a real thing. I seem to not be able to be without it. Wherever we find our comforts and security at the time of this full moon, I say go for it. Mwah. Thank you so much for being here, watching, liking, subscribing. chat with me in the comments below. Let me know how things are going for you. Sending all the love, and I will see you in your sign. Hi, Aquarius. For you, this is something unexpected when it comes to your home life and the sense of security that you have there. This could also be a mother figure or your internal world. Pluto is about to go into your sign, and right now it's finishing its very last degree when it comes to the subconscious work that you've been working on. You also have Venus here now in a very hidden part of your chart that is creating some shockwaves at the time of this moon. So something unexpected could show up when it comes to romantic relationships, maybe with pleasure in general. If pleasure tends to be on the side of self-destructive, then this can be an energy where you're destabilizing that to a different level or new level. But again, back to your home and what security means to you when it comes to your home life. Jupiter and Mercury are in your 5th and 11th house. So Jupiter has been protecting your fun and pleasure and creative side since June and will carry on until next June. But what this can also do is it could be an energy of overdoing fun and pleasure. And somebody in your community or networks might have something to say about that with Mercury in the 11th house. Something about your public image could also be fueling the energy at this time. And if you notice networks, audiences, something about your public image, you're getting feedback about something, then that is a time to consider how you feel secure and stable in your inner world and how that balances out the feedback that you're getting from the outer world. You're one of the signs that could be getting it from partnerships too. So Mars is in your 7th house right now, which means that some frustration could be coming from a partner or a significant other. And that's something that you have to navigate carefully. Maybe some conflicts are happening behind closed doors, and you need to figure out what is going on in your inner world that is going to create that sense of pleasure that comes from an authentic place and is not necessarily dependent on what's going on with your partner at any given time. If this isn't a romantic partner in your life, then this can have to do with a business partner as well. There's really lovely creative energy in the air for you, Aquarius. This is a time where you are being seen in a very creative, dreamy light. So if you have any opportunities to get into the public eye, do some public presentations, or maybe there are some shifts in career or just a lot of career focus that's happening right now, that's where you're getting a lot of positive pour over from this moon. So I hope it's going really well for you, Aquarius. Let me know in the comments below how this is showing up for you. And if you would like a personal Zoom reading with me, check out fullcupastrology.com and you can book online there. I'll see you next time. Hi, Pisces. This is the 3rd house full moon for you. So this is on the axis of communication, knowledge, higher learning. This can involve neighbors and siblings and close relatives, but ultimately this is a house of communication. So I think this is going to be a time, especially for you, where there's a lot of reflection around how you communicate to others. With the journey you've been on, I think this has a lot to do with how you are firm in creating a rule for yourself that others can follow, and how that comes out in your dialogue. We have Saturn moving direct in your sign now, which has been a longer journey that you're on, and it is going to wrap up early next year. But now with this forward motion of Saturn, the structure that you have for yourself and the discipline, this is where you're articulating what matters to you and how that can balance out between yourself and another person. Relationships right now could be part of what is creating shock waves in your social networks and community, and having you reflect more on what you value and what matters to you. But I think all of these things go hand in hand, where ultimately you're going to be getting more in touch with your feelings and your frustration and your anger, and letting that be the guide for expressing what you value. It ends up being a guide for confidence around this time with Mars now in Leo. While Mars was in Cancer, it can show us more where that emotional turmoil and why that emotional turmoil is getting triggered and upset. And then now in Leo, it's the time that we can really express how to, and especially with Saturn direct, we can express how to move forward and protect some of those more sensitive parts of ourselves. The collaborative ideas part of this energy is happening for you in your 4th and 10th house. So I think at home and career, you are getting lots of ideas of how you want to model your new belief systems, and you're able to take bits and pieces from people that you live with, maybe your family values that you grew up with that you do appreciate, and the ones that you would prefer to leave behind. Those are things that you're exploring. With the Mercury-Jupiter opposition, this is more about generating new ideas when it comes to Jupiter and Gemini, and generating new ideas for you from people at home. You're also going to have more motivation right now with Mars in Leo. Mars is slowing down to start its retrograde on December 6th, so you are probably going to feel less work motivated by then. Keep that in mind if there's stuff that you're really trying to get out and get done. And Mercury goes retrograde shortly after this full moon, so there's a tighter window to really be as productive as you would like, and that looks like it's this week. All in all, Pisces, this is a time where you want to be the one articulating what matters to you. You have been spending a lot of time processing what works and what doesn't when it comes to your interactions. And this is a time where you get the opportunity to speak up for what you need and tell people what really matters. And then either you make choices to surround yourself with different people, or I think in this case, they are going to be the ones that are going to start to align with what you need. Thank you so much for being here, Pisces. If you would like to join me for a personal live Zoom call and check out your birth chart, you can check out my website. It's fullcupastrology.com. The link is in the description below, and I will see you next time. Hi, Aries. This is the 2nd house full moon for you. So this is all about your assets, what you value, your own self-worth, how you manage your money, your resources, your energy, and how you nourish and take care of yourself. I like to look at the 2nd house as the placement of the give and take and exchange of energy in this world. When we give our body food and nourishment, we get energy in return. If we give energy to other people, we should get energy in return somewhere, not always in the same equation, and that's fine. But when there is too much output here and not enough input, or too much input and not enough output, something needs to be recalibrated. And that is what's happening at this full moon for you. This is reaching a new level where something needs to shift, something needs to change. Either something new needs to come in, or sometimes something has to end first. Whatever's going on, this is completely unexpected. And with Uranus here, it creates radical change. So if this feels really uncomfortable in the moment, or just jarring, and it could be a wonderful surprise, it could be one that is harder to deal with in the moment. But regardless, when Uranus is involved, it is making room for something quick and revolutionary to come in. This is like a full 180 type of moment. So if you don't feel the promise of something good coming in the moment, know that it is on its way. And you have Venus at the top of your chart, which is a wonderful placement. So this is a great time to be seen by the public if you have speaking to do. Whatever is going on with your career and public image, reputation, it could be around relationships since this is Venus, but this has impact on the fated direction that you are going in with self and other on your 1st and 7th axis, where the nodes are still currently. And you've been doing so much work in this area with the nodes here for the past year and a half or so. So you've had eclipses in your sign and the sign opposite yours. So the lessons have all been about balance between yourself and another person. And now you are in the limelight and you're being seen through rose-colored glasses, as they say. So it seems like this is a moment where you're seeing the efforts that you have been putting in with the eclipse changes. It's really paying off. For you, the ideas part is even more amplified than others. You could be engaging in teaching or starting a new program. Maybe that is what's creating abrupt shifts with your resources. But again, this would be something unexpected. I think that you're just one of the signs that is throwing around a lot of ideas and probably having some teachers around bouncing ideas back off of you. And that's a thing to keep an eye out for. So sometimes we don't always notice the people who are our teachers and have these nuggets of wisdom that are really important for us to integrate. And maybe you're even integrating it into media material of some kind. If you are a writer, maybe you are integrating more knowledge and speaking differently now. Maybe you're learning a new language. So there's a lot of emphasis on ideas and language and how you put that to use. And this is a time when your intuition and creativity is heightened as well. So I would lean on that to figure out how you're going to build your beliefs and ideas based on what's spinning around you. That and pleasure, fun, joy, children, hobbies, dating, all of the 5th house activities are getting lit up by Mars right now. So you're feeling really passionate about these topics, and it is a good time to go out and have fun and enjoy yourself. And you might just be feeling extra chatty as well. So overall, Aries, this looks like great energy to get out there, be seen, be heard, and bounce lots of ideas around. Don't disregard anything right away. But this is a time when what you value could really be changing, and it might come from something random that you hear from someone else. Thank you so much for being here. And if you would like to process with a personal reading with me, you can check out my website. The link will be in the description below, fullcupastrology.com, and I will see you next time. Hi, Taurus. This is your full moon. So this is happening in your 1st house. This means that this could be a change to your body, your psychology, how you operate in the world, how other people see you. With Uranus here, even if something doesn't happen, for those of you who are close to the 25-degree mark, 20 degrees to 30 degrees, 29 degrees, you are probably going to feel this in a more physical, tangible way if your rising sign is within those degrees. For the rest of you, this can feel like your adrenaline is on high, you're feeling anxious for no reason. You can feel a bit like you stuck your finger in an electric socket and you're getting a bit of an electric jar. So if you're feeling a bit frazzled, just be patient with this period and it will blow over, and don't worry that something is particularly wrong with your body. As a Taurus, you might not feel it at all because you are typically a sign that is really stable and just pushes ahead and doesn't mind. But since this is your full moon, I wanted to mention that just in case it shows up. For you, your ruler Venus is in your 9th house. So this is such an idea generating moon. And it could be that for you, a new teacher comes in, or a foreign person who identifies as female. In the 9th house, there can sometimes be some spiritual leadership to it. These ideas coming in could drastically shift the direction that you're going in when it comes to work, rest, retreat, overseas. maybe to do with overseas clients or maybe going on a trip altogether. It could be taking you away from a daily practice that you have been doing. So maybe you thought that meditation was the right thing for you during your day-to-day, and you learned something new and realized that the meditations you've been doing have actually just been spinning your wheels and creating some temporary relief, but not really getting you to the place you want to be. And this new idea comes in and completely changes that. But it has something to do with your subconscious. And this has been Pluto's journey for you. This is the final degree, this ninth house of teaching and spiritual beliefs and how you view the world. If there's extra stuff to go over, you have been getting the last little bit of those activations lately. And by November 18th, that will completely wrap up. But this is the last big transit that we have that could be amplifying this energy. Discussions around values and resources are also really big right now. You have Jupiter in the second house, so that has to do with your energy, what you value, your investments. Your money could be doing really well right now. You might be indulging more with Jupiter in that part of your chart. But for this moon, there is the opposition with Mercury and Jupiter in your 8th and 2nd house. So conversations with a partner could shift your values or shift what you do with your resources. Mercury rules your 5th house, so there's a chance that children could have to do with the resources you typically have from other people. It would be something like grants or government support or your partner's income that normally looks after things that your children need. But that's only one possibility. It can be the way that you spend your money on pleasure and hobbies and the fun activities that you do. You could also be feeling extra passionate at home with Mars there. Passionate, potentially frustrated. I think the past month you may have been feeling more emotional. If some of you were going through that, some Tauruses don't necessarily connect with the world as much on an emotional level. Everybody's going to be quite different in that department. This is more of a fiery energy where I think that either passion or frustration could be more on the forefront. And this would be good energy to fuel into a home project if that's how you're feeling. But ultimately, you want to deal with what that source of frustration and anger is all about within yourself. And at the same time, use the extra energy to get things done around the house if that feels right for you. So heads up for this one, Taurus, you could feel a little more worked up around this full moon. And that is always an opportunity to shake up our system and take a look at what's going on the inside, and then figure out a new action plan moving forward after this moon shows us what it wants to show us. I hope it's going really well for you. If you would like to process more with a personal astrology reading with me, check out my website, link in the description below. It is fullcupastrology.com. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you next time. Hi, Gemini. This is a 12th house full moon for you. The 12th house is all about rest, retreat, escape from the day-to-day world. It is our subconscious. It is where things dissipate and sometimes there's loss. It is ultimately a house of getting in touch with our subconscious and the things that happen outside of the practical day-to-day world and realm. Because this is a full moon, there is an essence of balancing those two parts of your life where the sun is in your 6th house and it is going to be activating more of that work and daily habits and routines and things that we just need to get done every day to exist in this world in a healthy way. Mars is in your 3rd house, so this could be frustration and agitation when it comes to travel. This is a signature for road rage, as they say. This could be motivation for communication, and maybe you're motivated to take some short trips. This also can be an area where there's conflict between siblings and close relatives. Looks like you are getting the last little bit of psychological purging just dripped out before Pluto moves on November 18th. Yay! Especially for you, because Pluto in the 8th house is such a psychological journey, and it can be a really painful one when you're going into those dark places within yourself, with your family members. So this opposition, given that there's the 3rd house that could have to do with neighbors and siblings and close relatives, and that's still going on, watch for any of those triggers. I do think that regardless of what happens, you have the tools to just keep applying what you've been doing, and you're probably going to see that what you have learned since Pluto has been in this part of your chart since 2008 until now has given you a lot of tools and strengths to lean on to know that you can get through almost anything. Jupiter is in your sign, and that's what makes me think even more that you are really, this is still about a big healing journey for you and who you are as a person. You are also expanding as an energetic being with Jupiter in your 1st house. This opposition with Jupiter and Mercury is about sharing ideas with a significant other. You're the one that is expanding in who you are as a person. And I think that you are probably, you're a Gemini, so you already, by nature, you take in ideas from other people, and you just never stop with that. It's your constant internal process of being curious and gaining wisdom. But this is a time where if partners challenge you, it's just getting you to even deeper levels. So there are some uncomfortable energies in this moon at this time, but you do have a lot of really beneficial strengths coming out of it. And I know that's not always great to hear if things are challenging. It doesn't really matter if growth is the end game, because it's still really hard to go through. It looks like taking a break really is the best medicine for you right now. And maybe part of this is learning how to step away, dissociate, depending on whether you tend to over dissociate or under dissociate. It's going to be a different balance for everybody, but this actually could be an energy that's asking you to dissociate a little bit more, disconnect, take a break from the rest of the world if you can, and either just completely retreat or spend time enjoying yourself and your psyche and all of the hard work that you have done to create a lovely world inside of yourself. And maybe there is a little bit more pain to process too. Let me know how this is going for you in the comments below, Gemini. Always love hearing from you. And if you would like to process more with a personal reading with me, check out my website, link in the description below, fullcupastrology.com. I would love to see you there. Thank you so much for being here. Have a wonderful full moon, and I will see you next time. Hi, Cancer. This is an 11th house full moon for you. So this has to do with your networks, your communities, your audience, your clients. These are your allies and people that support you in this life. And there is something really shocking, very abrupt, revolutionary change that is happening in that department. And it could have to do with romance. For you, you have Venus in your 7th house of partnerships, and it is squaring the nodes, which means that it is making a strong activation to fated changes within your home and career, your status, your home life, your inner world. With the 11th house, you have the sun on the other side of this moon in your 5th house of dating, romance, and children. This looks a lot like a relationship change for you, and I'm not surprised, given that that's where Pluto has been creating wildly tumultuous, painful, at times purging with how you go about relationships with other people and how other people act in relationship with you. When Pluto leaves this sign, it is often common that people will then shift into a relationship that is really fitting for them. So whether you are ending something or starting something, there's more shifting going on at this time, and it could come as a surprise. It could change things really quickly when Uranus is involved. It is the Tower moment and the Tower card in tarot, where the faster the old gets torn down, the more room there is for something new to come in quickly. You are feeling very passionate and amped up about your assets and your energy, the way you treat your body. This is a time where you might have been at odds with a partner about money and values and assets, how you spend your energy. And now that's shifting. Maybe that was part of what created a rupture, and making room for something new when it comes to that department. But that is certainly a big part of this story for you right now, Cancer. You're in this very creative mode with your knowledge seeking. So you're taking in more spiritual ideas maybe, and you're making sense of it in a more concrete way than usual. And that's feeding into this moon in a really nice way. So maybe you have somebody that's coming into your life through your networks and connections that can match you in this way, that can match your intellect and match your spiritual curiosity, and maybe just match your sense of adventure. And if you like to travel and check out other cultures, maybe this is someone from a different culture altogether. Maybe this is not as much a shift right now about your partner and just changing the networks that you're hanging out with. That's another possibility. You could just have ending with one community and potentially soon to come a new community. But there's a strong partnership emphasis. So maybe communities are changing because of relationship changes. Regardless, it looks like this new community coming in is a good fit for what keeps you intellectually stimulated and really feeds your curiosity and mental expansion, which is great energy to have. You might be keeping some of your ideas to yourself, or this could just be all subconscious expansion and spiritual expansion. And maybe travel is accentuated because you have Jupiter in your 12th house and Mercury's in your 6th, meaning that you could have more chattiness coming from work. This idea generating that's going on for you is your day-to-day life, and then behind closed doors to yourself, far away from everyone else. So that could be some of the vacation, or maybe you're just processing more of what you're picking up on in your day-to-day life and making sense of it in your own time. So for you, Cancer, this could be big changes with relationships, communities, and networks. It looks like better alignment and really fun creative flow with intellect and ideas, and you are expanding your mind and your subconscious, and maybe that's just making you chattier in your day-to-day life. You have more to talk about because of some of these changes going on. I hope it's going really well for you, Cancer. Thank you so much for being here. Let me know how it's going in the comments below, and if you would like a one-on-one reading with me, I will leave my website link in the description below. It is fullcupastrology.com. I would love to see you there, and I will see you next time. Hi, Leo. This is a 10th house full moon for you. So this is all about your public image, your career, your status. This can be recognition at work. This is coming out of nowhere. So this is something that you are not expecting. This is going to radically shift your image and your status and what's going on for you work-wise. Could be your reputation too. There's also this Venus square to the nodes is coming from your 6th house, which also is about work and day-to-day life. This is your habits and your productivity, your organization, your service to others. If this is unhealthy habits, Venus could be here to learn some restriction around pleasure. This could also be somebody who identifies as a female that is in your workplace, causing big shifts for where you are headed and where you have been when it comes to your day-to-day going about of things. Maybe there's changes with an employee if you have employees too. This is Pluto's final hours in Capricorn and in your 6th house, which this is where work stuff and your daily habits are really, any last bit that Pluto needs to purge from this part of your life is going to happen before November 18th. So that's where the more jarring energy is at this full moon. With Mars in your sign, Mars is slowing down a little bit, but this is the energy that adds fire and excitement and passion. It's well aspected for the most part right now. There is this Pluto opposition, and this is what could have been creating some friction in partnerships and with day-to-day life. It's also something that's positively feeding your desire to learn more, to maybe find a teacher that's really helpful and beneficial for you, to integrate new, fresh ideas about how the world works and what your belief systems are made of. And that could be coming from your friends and networks, or dating and romance and hobbies. So go out and have some fun, chat with people, and it's in these communities while you're out having a good time that the best ideas can come to you during this cycle. And you're going to have the energy to do that with Mars in your 1st house. It's a great opportunity to do more sports and hobbies and work off some of that Mars energy. Mars is going to station retrograde on December 6th, and as we get closer to December 6th, you will feel some of that slow down. So use it now if you're feeling it, and this will be a time more when it retrogrades to reflect on yourself and reflect on your motivation and drive and what you want that to look like when Mars goes direct again. So big changes with work and workplace. This is a moon that the energy of the sky is really asking us to gather more knowledge and do some contemplation and use any of these challenging moments to recalibrate what it is that we're doing and where we're going and the mental concepts that we're doing it with. I hope this is going really well for you, Leo. Let me know in the comments below. I love hearing from you. And if you would like a personal Zoom reading with me to look at your chart, my website is in the description below, and it's fullcupastrology.com. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you next time. Hi, Virgo. This is a 9th house full moon for you. This is something unexpected with a teacher, a mentor, a spiritual belief. This is a time where your education can take you to unexpected places, really deeply changing your mindset. You are being seen right now. Your public image is all about sharing these ideas and maybe even the spiritual ones. Regardless of what topics you're talking about, you have Jupiter in your 10th house, expanding your career, your reputation, your public image. And there's some tension building between your home life, your inner world, the place that you were raised, the information you were raised with, that is polarizing this public image. And that's something that's at play. So it looks to me like there's a lot of spiritual realization and spiritual growth that could be changing your inner world. I'm excited to hear about what shows up for you, Virgos, when it comes to this last bit of Uranus in your 9th house and what that journey has been like for you with all these unexpected things happening with your belief systems. Venus is in your 5th house. So this is Capricorn, and with Capricorn ruling your 5th house, this is a bit more of a serious tone of your hobbies and your play, and maybe your children are quite serious. But with Venus here, there is a sense of more pleasure. And even if your pleasure means productivity and stability and diligence with Capricorn there, Or maybe it's just been delayed. Maybe your pleasure is delayed and now's the time to enjoy yourself a little bit. It could be with dating and romance too. This focus on pleasure right now with Venus there is lighting. Well, this is also creative projects too. So if you are somebody who's working in creative work, this is a time where that's coming across in a really beautiful way. And it's affecting the access of worth and value and assets. Access of assets. How other people support you in intimate ways and financially as well. Payouts from other people, support from your partner. Those are the areas where there are bigger shockwaves and changes occurring. Your motivation right now is rest, retreat, escape. It could be dissociation, but it could be vacation. It could be taking a break. If you work in hospitals or prisons or any places that are far away, secluded from day-to-day living, then this could be about work for you. But the 12th house for most people is taking a break. With Pluto in the very last degree in your 5th house, still not really, but ever so slightly still opposing this Mars, there could be some transformation around joy and pleasure and work actually being part of your escape and retreat. Maybe there's something involved with children as well, and taking a break from that, or working on subconscious material, which is another thing that Mars in the 12th house will do. You could have more subconscious anger come up, and that would be a wonderful reason to have a 9th house full moon, is to have new ideas, new spiritual processes to apply to that anger and manage it and purge it with Pluto there. Great opportunity to really deal with it once and for all. And Pluto will be happy to help you with that before it moves on to Aquarius on November 18th. So this looks like some heavy lifting, Virgo, to really bring in new concepts and apply them in a way that's helpful for you on a subconscious level. Of course, some fun with Venus in your 5th house, so enjoy that. Even though it's Capricorn, you are used to Capricorn ruling your fun and pleasure though, so this will be a little extra no matter what. And blessings certainly look like there could be more creativity going on right now with your partnerships. Maybe collaborations would be a good thing, but right now I think the biggest thing is Jupiter in your 10th house, taking care of you being seen by more people and maybe getting more work achievements than usual. I hope it's going really well for you, Virgo. No matter how it's playing out, let me know in the comments below. And if you would like to process more with your personal birth chart with a live reading with me, you can check out my website link in the description below, fullcupastrology.com. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you next time. Hi, Libra. This is an 8th house full moon for you. So this is all about resources. This is your partner's resources if you are in a work partnership or marriage or romantic partnership. This is a full moon though, so the axis is highlighted and the sun is in your 2nd house of what you value, your self-worth, your assets, and how you nourish your body with the foods that you eat. I like to look at the 2nd house as the energy exchange that happens in our systems. And the 8th house is the energetic exchange that happens with another person within both of our systems. And that is where intimacy is covered as well as death, birth, taxes, payouts. This can be the energetic exchange through bigger groups outside of us too. But this is somehow energy that is supportive. This is a curveball, unexpected moment in this department for you. So with a full moon, it could be that a source of support or resource is ending and making room for something else, a different type of energetic exchange. This could be reaching a new level of intimacy and deepening your bonds with a significant other person. Venus is in your 4th house, squaring the nodes. So I think that this has to do with stuff from home. If this is not about a partnership at home, then this is your inner world and the home that you came from, the way that you were raised. There could be some relationship values that are shifting relationships for you, how you balance self and other. That's the axis that the nodes are on for you. They are still in your sign of yourself and another person and relationships. Libra is the sign of partnerships, and nobody knows balance better than a Libra. But there are always new levels to reach and new things to learn. Maybe this is about energy that is more towards another person than for yourself. Either way, what you are going through as far as changes at home is affecting this relationship balance and resources. And this is about your beliefs as well. So a lot of parts of the chart are lit up for everybody during this moon. I do think that they all tie in together and have quite a bit of importance. So Jupiter is amplifying your 9th house, and that is wanting you to expand your ideas and beliefs about the world. Expand your curiosity about things that you don't know anything about yet. Expand your spiritual beliefs. There is healing in that right now, and Jupiter is just doing it for you, so it's happening more easily than usual, even if that's something that is normally a big part of your existence. Mercury is on the other side in your 3rd house, working hard, and Mercury, these are, for you, these are the domiciles of each sign. So Mercury is the classic ruler of the 3rd house, and Jupiter is the classic ruler of the 9th house. So there's some nice synergy here for you. It is about getting better at communicating and expressing through words what it is you believe to other people. Maybe you're learning new spiritual concepts and expanding your mind with new knowledge, and you need to put it into marketing material for some reason, or you're writing. It could be short distance travel. It could be conversations with neighbors and cousins and siblings, but ultimately it is about communication. So with all of these parts of your chart lit up, keep in mind that expanding knowledge is the asset here. Being really passionate about your communities and networks too. So this does look like great energy for marketing and getting information out to potential clients or an audience if this is more work related for you. If this is friends, you could be feeling more frustration or passion within your friend groups. That would be what triggers some of this reflection that you're doing about your inner world and your home life. But it all comes down to what you value and how you build intimacy with other people. And it is in those two things that we also energetically attract the resources and support from others as well. So I hope that you are having a fun time expanding your beliefs and getting very clear on your values. I hope that the abundance and support from others is coming through. And if you don't feel that right now, know that if you're going through more of a constriction period and you're feeling a lack of support, then very soon you're going to expand and the support is going to come in that is a much better match for where you are at. Thank you so much for being here. If you would like to get a one-on-one reading with me, with your personal chart, check out my website, link in the description below, fullcupastrology.com. I would love to see you there. Let me know how things are going in the comments below, and I will see you next time. Hi, Scorpio. This is a partnership full moon for you. So big unexpected curveballs coming from your partner or that your partner is going through. Now for you too, if this is relationship, communication is accentuated. Venus is in your 3rd house, making you a better communicator. making you enjoy communication that much more, getting pleasure out of connecting with neighbors and siblings and close relatives. You could be making money from your writing or media or maybe publications. But work related, this is creating some big shifts in your destined path when it comes to your day-to-day life and your career. It looks like communication and writing is a big piece of this. I don't know how much this is tied into partnerships. Maybe you have a new work partner that is helping you with some of these communication projects. You are also a sign that is really analyzing what you value, and it comes down to communication and words again, because Mercury is in your second house. So it could be that maybe you are making money from your writing, and also maybe you are processing more of what matters to you when it comes to being clear in your communication, getting across to others really well. With Venus in your third house, it might be about being more gentle and sweet and communication that is pleasurable. Scorpio energy is often just, when they get into it, they're digging deep and get into the really important stuff, and it's a lot of fun. It's not always the most gentle communication. Depends on personal charts, of course, but that could be something that you are finessing with the energy of this moon. Your reputation is looking fiery, so maybe that is triggering some of this reflection of how you communicate. But it could just be that you have motivation and passion to be very driven in your career right now. Mars is going to slow down for retrograde. Well, it is already slowing down for retrograde. It will station to retrograde on December 6th. So every day we get closer to December 6th, and after that, there's going to be a slowdown of this motivation. So take advantage now. When Mars retrogrades, it will be more about reflecting on how you want that drive and motivation to go when it goes direct again. There might be some changes to do with work and career at that time. We'll talk about that more when we get there. Back to this moon. There is a lot of emphasis on intimacy and resources from another person. With Jupiter in this part of your chart, you could be getting all of the financial and abundance support that you need. This is also a time where you are likely amplifying your intimacy and deepening your connections. And that's certainly coming from communicating your values right now and just spending more time maybe talking about those things with a significant person too. And this could just be about how you allocate funds and money if it is more of a business conversation with a partner. Either way, partnerships are the big theme right now, Scorpio. Lots of ideas being thrown around. Communication is your game right now, and it looks like it's really creating some big shifts in how you connect with other people. Let me know how this is going for you in the comments. I loved hearing from you there. And if you would like to process more with your personal chart in a live Zoom reading with me, check out my website link in the description below, fullcupastrology.com. Would love to see you there. Thank you so much for being here. Have a wonderful full moon, and I will see you next time. Hi, Sag. This is the 6th house full moon for you. So this is all about health, day-to-day habits, your day-to-day life, your routines, work, how you get things done, employees potentially. Something radical and unexpected is shifting in this part of your life. And it likely has to do with idea exchanges between you and a significant other person. Your values could be changing due to a romantic partnership as well. Or this is just a really good time for money overall for you. You're feeling more structured, disciplined, and the energy and resources that you have, you can slow down on any spending and keep more of that to yourself. Pluto's here for those last couple of lessons. So Pluto has been really purging any limiting beliefs and situations that that will show you that when it comes to second house topics, which is also about your worth. And that is where we learn how much energy that we give and take. We want that to be as even as possible, ideally. We are all equal and we all deserve equal give and take in exchange of resources and energy with one another. So any imbalances, you have been hard at work to purge and go through sometimes painful external situations to show you where you can just crack open and let go of some of the constructs that you were taught to believe that just aren't true. So this is a moment where those lessons since 2008 could really start to show some of the new ways that you have to create change and to prioritize yourself. That seems to be really benefiting your fun, pleasure, creativity, children, self-expression, authentic, unique self-expression. You are one of the signs that might feel this energy in a bit gentler of a way. Pluto and Mars opposition has been happening in the house of assets, but it's now moving into your spiritual beliefs, your beliefs about the world, the 9th and 3rd house axis, where Mars is now starting to give you that taste of motivation and drive to maybe be a teacher. Maybe a new teacher comes in, or at the very least, you are just gathering foreign concepts, foreign ideas, maybe going to foreign places. And whether, no matter what has happening physically, it is about gaining a new mindset and expanding your beliefs. You are going to have lots of time to reflect on that as Mars slows down and stops and retrogrades and a bit of a back and forth dance in your 9th and 8th house there. But enjoy that passion of ideas that's coming forth right now. It looks like it's really going to fuel your day-to-day life and health in a positive way. And you are sparkling with lots of ideas and feeling more chatty right now, and that's bouncing off your partner really well. So I like this Mercury-Jupiter opposition for you in your 1st and 7th house, and it is also the rulers of your 1st and 7th house. So some really nice synergy and alignment there, that this, even though it's an opposition and sometimes that can create some tension, this is a really beautiful relationship piece for you. And whether you're in a significant relationship or it's work partnerships, or it is just someone significant in your life, this is going to play out, I think, in a really fun way. So enjoy the chattiness, enjoy the idea sharing, and no doubt it will go to very good use with health and work. Thank you so much for being here. If you would like to process a personal chart reading with me over a live Zoom call, check out my website, link in the description below, fullcupastrology.com. Would love to see you there. Let me know how you're doing in the comments. Always a joy chatting with you. I will see you next time. Hi Capricorn, this is the 5th house full moon for you. So this is unexpected changes with your children, your creativity, your hobbies, the way that you have fun, the way that you creatively express. And because this is a full moon and it's lighting up your 5th house and 11th house axis, this could have to do with your friends and networks too, and community and audience. You are looking really good with Venus in your sign. This is a wonderful time to update your wardrobe, get a haircut. Mercury is stationing retrograde though on November 22nd, and it's in shadow already, so I would avoid any drastic changes. Follow what you're drawn to and know that you want to do any of that definitely before the 19th. Just around the time of this full moon is ideal if you come across some changes that you want to make with your appearance. Regardless of whether you choose to make changes, Venus is still helping you be seen in a great light and really giving you more tools to enjoy yourself and have a good time and truly enjoy pleasure. which is what this full moon is all about. So Venus is the ruler of Taurus, where this full moon is happening, and this is about indulging in the basic pleasures of life through our 5 senses. Figuring out new ways to have fun for you, Capricorn, is in this recipe, which makes this a lot more fun, even though some of the energies could be challenging for some people. You do look like you're doing a lot of work. Jupiter is amplifying your 6th house. This could be energy that also heals. So if you've had any health stuff going on, wonderful support to change your routines. This could be an energy where you heal any depleted vitality, and your routines are healing in and of themselves. So that is another area that is going really well for you. Mercury in this opposition to Jupiter is in your 12th house. So this chattiness that most people are going through of idea sharing with other people, I think for you, this is happening more in a subconscious, intuitive realm. This is the type of energy where you could just get sudden downloads that shift your thinking. I always find it's the moments that I'm falling asleep and the moments that I'm waking up that all of a sudden what is real actually starts coming to me. I actually once bought this coat that I didn't realize was too big for me, and I woke up from a nap, and for whatever reason, that was what came through. I realized I'd bought the wrong size of coat, and from that moment on, I just couldn't even wear it. I ended up selling it on Facebook Marketplace and buying a new one that actually fit properly. Pay attention to those moments. Pay attention to things that just seem to come out of nowhere. That's where the wisdom is showing up for you. And that is what could change the daily habits and work for you as well. Passionate about resources and intimacy for sure. You have Mars here, and this Mars-Pluto opposition was in your partnership house. So this is where you were experiencing those last little Pluto potentially painful purges for some of you about who you are as an individual and how you operate in relation to other people, especially significant partnerships. Now it's about intimacy and resources. And that is what the Pluto theme is going to be from November 18th moving forward for the next 18 plus years. This is about what you value when it comes to your resources and energy. So I feel like you're getting a taste of that with this Mars cycle, and you're going to feel more of it around the end of the year when it's going to peak on New Year's Eve. There's going to be a moment that starts to speak more to showing you what it is that you want to work on when it comes to values, resources, and the exchange of money that goes on between you and a partner or between you and the rest of the world. Because it's that also has a lot to do with our vitality, and we don't talk about that as much with the second house. We talk about it more as the physical resources, but that all comes down to energy, and that's something that we're starting to talk about more and more as the normal when it comes to our human existence. So I think that's something that needs to be adjusted with how we talk about the astrology piece too. Creative writing is going really well for you too. So with all of this intuitive psychic energy and the healing in your day-to-day life, writing could be a part of that. Maybe you are putting stuff into marketing material, and that could be something that is feeling very creative, flowing very well in structure too. So take advantage of that energy if there is work you need to do. Know that Mars is going to be decreasing in motivation for all of us and energy as we get closer to December 6th. Some of us are going to still feel it. Some of us are going to feel more depleted. Mars is actually the night ruler of Capricorn and one of the historical rulers. So if you are a night chart, you might feel this Mars retrograde season after December 6th as even more of a slowdown. This is a time more for reflection of where you want your passions and your motivations to go. So when planets do retrograde and slow down, it gives us an opportunity to recalibrate what is important to us. We can't always be going full steam ahead. Then when we do get momentum again, this will be in February of 2025 with this Mars retrograde. We have even more momentum because we've had a rest. we've figured out what we really want to do. And with you, it's going to involve this newfound shift in your energy and resources. So I hope it's going really well for you, Capricorn. Let me know what's showing up in the comments below. And if you would like to process with your personal chart in a live Zoom call with me, check out my website link in the description below, fullcupastrology.com. Thank you so much for being here and have a lovely full moon. I'll see you next time.